Live from the Carl Chevrolet Studios in West Des Moines, this is Iowa Live.
Welcome back to the program, everybody, on this cold and chilly day here in central Iowa. How about we learn about something that happened on this day in Iowa history? And with this, we go to Professor Jeff Stein with the Iowa Almanac. Hello, Professor. You staying warm?
As well as anyone can these days. Holy cow. I mean, I got every little bit of gear on and stuff in the car, so I hope everyone else does too.
There you go. All right, time to learn about something that happened on this day in history. And unfortunately, whenever society comes together and formed over time, there needs to be something done to punish those wrongdoers. And this was the case in the state of Iowa.
You know, Lou, the Iowa Territory was established in 1838, and soon after that, January 25th of 1839, right away, in order to ensure the safety of the citizens of this new territory, the territorial legislature, which was meeting in Burlington, passed a law establishing creation of a penitentiary along the Mississippi River. They initially approved $20,000 for that new facility. It was to be built on 10 acres of land donated by the citizens of Fort Madison. The facility was to be able to receive, secure, and employ 136 convicts.
Now, this was going to take a little while to build. There's no question about that, holding that many people. But what did they do in the meantime? How did they take care of that?
Well, since it would take an amount of time to establish such a facility, they had to do something. So Iowa's first prison was actually literally a hole in the ground under the floor of the warden's residence. Imagine this. They open a trap door, and underground is where they would stuff these folks. But it was not terribly secure, and a little surprised that 7 of the first 11 prisoners escaped from the hole in the ground. Well, construction of that first cell house, which came to be known as Cell House 17, was completed in October of 1841 at a cost of $56,000. When Iowa then became a state 5 years later, the legislature approved enlarging the prison, and by 1854, Cell House 17 contained 133 cells.
So seriously, they just opened up a trap door and said, climb down there. We're gonna keep an eye on you down there. And all those prisoners escaped. They probably just used it like a spoon on the dirt and get out of there. But the original Fort Madison prison, pretty impressive facility when you think about it, and all the technology that they had to put into that, even though they had no knowledge about that prior, but actually still being used until not too long ago, wasn't it?
Very impressive looking facility. And yeah, it was only about a half dozen years ago that they moved to a new facility. That original facility, Lou, was a 2-story sandstone cell block designed to house those convicted of the most serious offenses against society. They added a 3rd story to the building in the 1870s, additional buildings and cell houses, as well as a large sandstone wall with regularly placed gun towers. Those were added as well as the number of inmates increased. After 175 years, that original penitentiary closed, as we noted. This happened in August of 2015. You may remember that was a year behind schedule. They had some well-publicized construction issues. So the state offered to transfer ownership of the penitentiary to the city of Fort Madison, and there is now a nonprofit group that is giving tours on occasion and trying to turn the old prison into a museum. Now, the new prison, the one they use now, it cost more than $130 million to build. That first appropriation, though, for a state prison, far less, $20,000, when the Iowa legislature passed a law establishing the Iowa State Penitentiary in Fort Madison on this date in 1839.
Wow, talk about a price increase. From 20 grand to $130 million, to put things in perspective. But we love learning about things that happened on this day in Iowa history, and this was no exception. Now, yesterday was a real special day. The Edie's pie, the ice cream pie, formerly known as the Eskimo pie. If you want to hear that story and the Iowa connections to that story and get some more details on what we talked about today, what's the easiest thing they can do, Professor?
You go to iowaalmanac.com. We have today's story and then all of the past stories. So you can, as you noted, listen to the story about the old Eskimo pie, 100 years old now, and today's story. It's all at iowaalmanac.com.
Professor Jeff Stein, outstanding job as always. Thank you so much, and we will talk to you next time.
Have a great day, Lou. Thanks so much.
Here are some of the things we can celebrate today on this 25th of January. National Plan for Vacation Day. You heard Jackie mention that a couple of minutes ago. National Opposite Day is today. Speak Up and Succeed Day and Fluoride Day. 77 years ago, Grand Rapids, Michigan became the first community to add fluoride to its public water supply. So think about that. Not Flint, Michigan, Grand Rapids. And also, it is National Irish Coffee Day. That is something that could warm me up on a day like today.